I can hear the champagne glasses clinking around me, laughter echoing off the high ceilings of this upscale venue I spent way too much money on. My 25th birthday party is everything I imagined: crystal chandeliers, designer dresses, successful people everywhere. Jessica leans against the bar in her Chanel suit, talking to Marcus about his latest promotion. Ryan just walked in, and I feel my heart skip. He looks incredible in that tailored suit. Emma, happy birthday, gorgeous. Jessica pulls me into a hug that smells like expensive perfume. Thank you, I'm so glad you're here. Wouldn't miss it. This place is amazing, very you. She scans the room, then her expression shifts slightly. Is Daniel coming? Before I can answer, I see him walking through the entrance. My stomach drops. He's wearing his usual button-down shirt. The blue one I've seen 100 times, and khakis. Simple, plain, ordinary. Everyone else looks like they stepped out of a magazine, and Daniel looks like he's heading to a casual office job. Sorry I'm late, Daniel says, reaching me. He tries to kiss my cheek, but I turn slightly, and it lands awkwardly near my ear. Traffic was insane. It's fine. My voice comes out colder than I intended. Marcus walks over, drink in hand, his eyes sweeping over Daniel's outfit. Hey man, glad you could make it. The way he says it sounds almost sarcastic. Thanks, happy birthday, Em. Daniel holds out a wrapped package. It's not in a fancy bag from some expensive store. It's wrapped in regular paper with a ribbon he probably tied himself. Jessica appears beside me, eyeing the gift. Oh, how sweet. What is it? I unwrap it slowly, and inside is a photo album. Handmade, the cover has our names written in Daniel's careful handwriting. I flip through a few pages pictures of us from the past 3 years. The hiking trip where it rained, the time we built that bookshelf together, our first date at that cheap diner. I spent the last few weeks putting it together. Daniel says quietly, all our memories. Jessica leans in, looking over my shoulder. That's sweet. For someone who can't afford a real gift, I mean. She says it just loud enough for the people nearby to hear. Someone snickers. My face burns. I close the album quickly. Thanks, Daniel. That's thoughtful. Ryan approaches, extending his hand to Daniel. Ryan Mitchell, investment banking. Daniel Chen, software developer. Daniel shakes his hand. Tech. Which company? A startup, small one. We're working on AI applications. Ryan's smile doesn't reach his eyes. Startups, brave choice, or maybe just optimistic. He turns to me. Emma, the caterers are asking about the cake. I nod and walk away, leaving Daniel standing there. Throughout the evening, I watch my worlds collide. My successful friends with their expensive watches and luxury cars, and Daniel in his simple clothes, nursing the same beer for an hour, looking uncomfortable. Your boyfriend seems nice, Ryan says later, standing too close to me. He's fine. Just fine. You deserve more than fine, Emma. You deserve someone at your level. His words sink into me like poison or truth. I can't tell which. As the party winds down, Daniel approaches me with his glass raised. Can I make a toast? Everyone quiets down, looking at us. Jessica and Marcus exchange glances. Ryan watches with amusement. Emma, these 3 years with you have been... Stop. The word comes out of my mouth before I can think. Everyone's eyes are on me now. The champagne has made me bold, or maybe just cruel. Honestly, Daniel, you're a total failure. I can't keep pretending this is going anywhere. The room goes silent. I can hear my own heartbeat. Daniel's face crumbles. His eyes, those gentle eyes that always looked at me like I was something precious, fill with hurt so deep it makes my chest ache. But I don't take it back. I can't, not with everyone watching. He sets down his glass carefully, like he's afraid it might break. I see Daniel. No, it's fine. I understand. His voice is barely a whisper. He looks at me one last time, and I see something die in his expression. Then he turns and walks out. The silence stretches for what feels like forever. Then Jessica touches my shoulder. You did the right thing. You were too good for him anyway. Marcus nods, way too good. Ryan smiles at me, that approving smile that should feel like victory. Took courage to be honest. I respect that. People start talking again. The party continues, but something feels wrong. I look at the photo album Daniel left on the gift table. At all those memories he carefully preserved, and my stomach twists. But I push the feeling away. I did the right thing. I deserve better. Don't I? I wake up the next morning with my head pounding and this strange emptiness in my chest. The apartment is too quiet. I stumble to the bathroom, and that's when I notice Daniel's toothbrush is gone. His books aren't on the shelf. The coffee mug he always used isn't in the cabinet. He came while I was asleep. Took everything, left nothing behind. No note, no text, nothing. I stare at the empty space where his things used to be, and for a moment, I reach for my phone to call him. To apologize, to explain, but then my phone rings and it's Jessica. Thank God you finally dumped him. She says, her voice bright. Emma, you were way out of his league. Everyone could see it. Yeah, I guess. Ryan asked about you, by the way. He wanted to know if you were free for dinner this week. My heart lifts slightly. Really? Really? See? Better things are already coming your way. 2 weeks later, I'm sitting across from Ryan at a restaurant I couldn't even afford to look at the menu of when I was with Daniel. Ryan orders wine that costs more than my monthly grocery bill. This is nice, I say, looking around at the elegant Dacre. You deserve nice things, Emma. Ryan reaches across the table, taking my hand. You deserve someone who can give you the life you want. And he does give me that life. Weekend trips to wine country in his BMW. Jewelry that sparkles under restaurant lighting. Introductions to his wealthy friends who talk about investments and vacation homes. My social media fills with photos of me in designer dresses at exclusive clubs on Ryan's yacht. My parents come to dinner one night, and my mother actually cries when she meets Ryan. Finally, she says, dabbing her eyes with a napkin, finally, a man who can provide for you properly. My father nods, already deep in conversation with Ryan about stock portfolios. Smart investments, young man, very smart. What about Daniel? I ask quietly. You both liked him. My mother waves her hand dismissively. Daniel was sweet, but honey, sweet doesn't pay bills. You need security, stability. This is the life you deserve, Jessica tells me constantly. We're at brunch, and she's admiring the bracelet Ryan bought me. You're living the dream. I try to convince myself she's right. I post another photo, me in a red dress at some gala, Ryan's arm around my waist. The likes pour in. The comments congratulate me. But late at night, when Ryan is working late again, I lie in bed and remember different things. Daniel holding me when I was anxious about work, listening for hours. Daniel making me laugh when I was stressed. Daniel looking at me like I was the most precious thing in his world. I push those thoughts away. That's the past. This is my future. Did you hear about Daniel? Marcus asks one evening at a dinner party. He moved to San Francisco. Oh, I try to sound disinterested. Yeah, probably crawling back to some dead end job. Marcus laughs. Tech startups in San Francisco. Good luck with that. Everyone laughs. I laugh too, but it sounds hollow even to my own ears. That night, I scroll through my phone and find old photos I should have deleted. Daniel and me at a cheap diner, laughing at something stupid. Hiking in the rain, both of us soaked and happy. Building furniture together in my apartment, him patient when I couldn't figure out the instructions. We looked so happy. We were so happy. Why wasn't that enough? 6 months into my relationship with Ryan, I'm starting to see the cracks. We're supposed to have dinner tonight. Our reservation is in an hour, but he's still at the office. Ryan, are you coming? Something came up, babe. Rain check. You said that last week. Emma, I'm building a career here. You understand, right? He doesn't wait for my answer before hanging up. When we are together, he's on his phone constantly, checking stocks, making calls, sending emails. Ryan, can we talk about something? He doesn't look up from his screen. My boss is giving me trouble about the Henderson project. I'm really stressed about. That's nice, babe. Still not looking up? I stopped talking. Daniel used to put his phone away when I spoke. He gave me his complete attention like nothing else mattered. I shake my head, angry at myself for comparing. One evening, Ryan leaves his phone on the counter, and I see a text notification from someone named Amber. Last night was amazing. When can I see you again? My hands shake as I open his messages. Nothing explicitly romantic, but flirtatious. Intimate, wrong? Who's Amber? I ask when he comes into the kitchen. What, were you going through my phone? It was right there. Who is she? Ryan sighs like I'm a child throwing a tantrum. It's just networking, Emma. Don't be insecure. This is how business works. You wouldn't understand. The condescension in his voice stings more than the texts. Meanwhile, Jessica calls me crying. He cheated on me with his secretary. The cliché is almost funny if it didn't hurt so much. I'm so sorry, Jess. All men are the same. She says bitterly over wine that night. At least Ryan has money. That's something real. Hold on to that. But is money real? Is that what matters? My work starts suffering. My boss, Patricia, calls me into her office. She's in her 50s, sharp and professional, and she's always been supportive of me. Emma, your work has been slipping, she says, concern in her voice. You're distracted, missing deadlines. Is everything okay? Everything's fine. I'm sorry. I'll do better. Patricia looks at me like she doesn't believe me. If you need to talk about anything, I'm fine, but we both know it's a lie. That night, unable to sleep, I scroll through old photos on my phone. There's Daniel and me at that cheap diner, laughing. Hiking in the rain, both of us soaked. Building furniture together, him patient and kind. We looked so happy. Why wasn't that enough for me? I closed the photos quickly, feeling a sharp pain in my chest. Ryan comes home late, smelling of perfume that definitely isn't mine. Where were you? Client dinner. Why are you interrogating me? I'm not interrogating. I'm asking. I'm tired of your questions, Emma. His eyes are cold. Maybe Daniel put up with your nagging, but I won't. The mention of Daniel's name hurts more than anything else. I realize, with growing horror, that Ryan sees me as an accessory, not a partner. Something pretty to bring to events, not someone to actually connect with. But I've burned my bridges. I humiliated Daniel in front of everyone. There's no going back now. I'm trapped in the life I thought I wanted. I'm in a meeting, barely paying attention, scrolling through LinkedIn on my phone when I see it, Daniel's face. Staring back at me from a featured article, 30 Under 30 Tech Innovators, How Daniel Chen Built a Multi-Million-Dollar AI Platform in 18 Months. I can't breathe. My hands shake as I click the article. There's Daniel, photographed in a sleek office with floor-ceiling windows overlooking San Francisco Bay. He's wearing an expensive suit, looking confident, successful, nothing like the uncertain man I left behind. The article describes his AI startup. $50 million in funding. Tech giants competing to acquire his company. Projected worth of over $100 million within 2 years. $100 million. I read every word 3 times, my heart pounding harder each time. There are quotes from him. The biggest turning point in my life was when I realized I was chasing someone else's approval instead of my own dreams. When I finally let go of that relationship, I found myself, that relationship, he means me. I run to the bathroom and throw up. Jessica calls me that evening. Oh my God, Emma, did you see? Daniel is loaded now. This is insane. I saw. Imagine if you'd stayed with him, you'd be set for life. Her voice has this strange edge, like she's blaming me. I know, Jessica. I know. Marcus texts, Yo, remember when we all thought Daniel was a loser? Lol, plot twist of the century. Everyone's laughing at me now. The friends who supported my decision to leave him are now making jokes about my terrible judgment. Even my parents bring it up when I call them. Well, you couldn't have known. My mother says, but I hear the disappointment in her voice. My father is more direct. That's the problem with your generation. No patience, always looking for the easy path. Ryan barely acknowledges it when I mention it. Some people get lucky. Doesn't change anything for us. But it changes everything for me. That night, I create a fake social media account. I find Daniel's profiles. He doesn't post much, but what he does share breaks me into pieces. Photos at tech conferences, giving keynote speeches, being interviewed by major news outlets, and then I see her. A beautiful woman appears in his recent photos. Sarah, According to her profile, she's a venture capitalist. Intelligent, accomplished, successful. In the photos, Daniel looks at her the way he used to look at me. Like she's his whole world, but there's something different. He looks complete, happy in a way that doesn't depend on anyone else. I was supposed to be living the dream life. How did everything go so wrong? 3 months after discovering Daniel's success, I'm at work when my phone buzzes. A text from Ryan, "This isn't working out. I've met someone else. She's more aligned with my lifestyle. Best wishes for your future." That's it. 2 years reduced to 3 cold sentences. I call him, blocked. I text him, no response. I learn through mutual friends that someone else is a fashion model. 10 years younger than me. Someone who doesn't ask questions or demand his time. Jessica tries to comfort me, but even she seems distracted. 2 weeks later, she drops her own bomb. I'm moving to Boston, job opportunity. I need a fresh start. When, next month, she won't meet my eyes. I'm sorry, Emma, but I need to think about my own life right now. I realize our friendship was built on judgment and superficiality. And now that my life is falling apart, she doesn't want to be associated with my failure. Then Patricia calls me into her office. "Emma, we've tried to work with you, but your performance hasn't improved. We're letting you go." "Patricia, please, I can do better." "I'm sorry, the decision is final." I clean out my desk, while former colleagues pretend not to notice. My replacement is already being trained at my old desk. My mother sighs heavily on the phone when I tell her, "Maybe you should move back home until you get back on your feet." I'm 27 years old, single, unemployed, living off rapidly depleting savings. The luxury apartment Ryan convinced me to rent is impossible to afford now. I moved to a small studio in a neighborhood I used to avoid. Months blur together, rejection emails, growing anxiety. I sell the jewelry Ryan bought me, the designer clothes, everything that symbolized my successful life. Meanwhile, Daniel's star keeps rising. His company is acquired for $200 million. His face appears on magazine covers. He's giving TED talks, and through my fake account, I watch him propose to Sarah on a beach in Malibu. The ring probably costs more than I'll earn in 5 years. The photos show them both glowing with genuine joy. The comments are filled with admiration. "You both deserve this happiness. What an incredible love story." I sit alone in my tiny apartment, eating cheap takeout, crying until my eyes swell. This was supposed to be my life. That was supposed to be me. But I threw it away because I was ashamed of his potential, his humble beginnings, his simple love. I chose status over substance, and now I have neither. 2.5 years after the breakup, I'm working as a junior coordinator at a small event planning company. The pay barely covers rent, but it's employment. My boss, Linda, hands me a guest list one morning. My blood runs cold. Daniel Chen, keynote speaker. "This is huge for us." Linda says, excited. "He's one of the most influential people in tech right now. We need everything perfect." I consider calling in sick, but I can't afford to lose another job. The night of the gala, I show up in my best remaining outfit, trying to make myself invisible among the event staff. The ballroom is magnificent crystal chandeliers, elegant attendees, wealth everywhere. Then Daniel arrives and the room shifts its attention to him. He's surrounded by admirers, journalists, business partners. Sarah is beside him, stunning in a designer gown, her engagement ring catching the light. I'm adjusting name cards when I hear his voice. That familiar voice that once told me he loved me every day. "Thank you for coming. Yes, the wedding is in 3 months. We're very excited. 3 months. 3 months until he marries someone else." During cocktail hour, someone bumps into me. I turn and suddenly I'm face to face with Daniel. Time stops. His eyes widen with recognition, then fill with something I can't read. Not anger, not love, just nothing, polite indifference. "I'm sorry," he says professionally, steadying me. "Are you all right?" He doesn't recognize me. Or he's pretending not to. I'm wearing a simple black staff uniform, My hair pulled back, no expensive jewelry or designer clothes. I'm invisible to him now. I'm fine. I whisper, "Excuse me." I hide in the staff bathroom, sobbing into my hands. This is what I've become, so far removed from his world that he doesn't even see me. Later, during his keynote speech, I stand at the back, forced to watch. Someone once told me I was a total failure, he says, and my heart stops. At the time, it devastated me, but eventually I realized it was the wake-up call I needed. That moment of pain became my moment of clarity. I'm grateful for it now, in a strange way, because it led me to become who I am today. The audience applauds. Sarah watches him with pride and love. I didn't just lose Daniel. I became a footnote in his success story. The villain whose cruelty inadvertently helped him. He's grateful for what I did because it freed him to find his true potential and real love. 3 months later, I do something pathetic. I drive 2 hours to the luxury resort where Daniel and Sarah are getting married. I don't have an invitation. I'm not trying to crash it. I just need to see it, need to make it real. Need to punish myself with visual proof of everything I lost. I park far from the venue and walk to a hills I'd overlook. I have binoculars. I bought them specifically for this horrible purpose. I've become a stalker of my own failed life. The wedding is beautiful, white flowers everywhere, string quartet, elegant guests. Through the binoculars, I watch the ceremony begin. Then Daniel appears, and I gasp. He looks happy genuinely, radiantly happy. Not the cautious happiness he had with me, always trying to please, always worried I'd be disappointed. This is different. This is the happiness of a man who knows exactly who he is and where he belongs. Sarah walks down the aisle. Even from this distance, I can see tears in Daniel's eyes. When they exchange vows, I can't hear the words, but I don't need to. The way they look at each other says everything. When they kiss, the guests erupt in applause. I lower the binoculars, unable to watch anymore. I sit on the grass, hugging my knees, crying quietly. A jogger passes, gives me a concerned look, doesn't stop. What would I say? That I'm mourning a life I could have had if I hadn't been so shallow, so cruel, so stupid. I stay until the reception begins. At one point, Daniel and Sarah dance. He spins her around exactly the way he used to spin me. But he's better at it now, more confident, more joyful. He's better at everything now with someone else. As the sun sets, I finally force myself to leave. I drive home in the dark, feeling older than my 27 years. Marcus texts Daniel got married today to a millionaire VC. Life is wild, man. I don't respond. When I get home, I look at myself in the mirror. I've lost weight from stress. Dark circles under my eyes, worn down by regret. I'm not the confident woman I was at 25. I'm someone broken by her own choices, haunted by the ghost of a love I destroyed. 6 months after Daniel's wedding, I'm alone in my apartment on a Friday night when I do something I've been avoiding. I take out paper and pen and I write, "Dear Daniel, I know I have no right to write this. I know you've moved on, built an incredible life, found real love. I know I'm just a painful memory you've probably worked hard to forget. But I need to say this, even if you never read it. I'm sorry, those words are completely inadequate for what I did, but they're all I have. I'm sorry for humiliating you at my birthday party. I'm sorry for calling you a failure when you were the only person who truly believed in me. I'm sorry for throwing away the most genuine love I've ever known, because I was too shallow and insecure to see its value. You weren't the failure, Daniel. I was. I failed to see your potential, your kindness, your dedication. I failed to appreciate what we had until it was gone. I chose money and status over love and integrity. And karma has shown me exactly how worthless those things are without someone real to share them with. I've watched your success from afar not to torture you, but to torture myself, which I deserve. I see how happy you are with Sarah, and I'm genuinely glad. You deserve that happiness. You deserved it all along. I was just too blind and stupid to give it to you. I don't want you back. I don't expect forgiveness. I don't even expect you to remember me with anything but relief that I let you go. I just wanted you to know that I understand now, too late, what I had. You were never the failure. I was the one who failed. At love, at loyalty, at seeing what truly matters in life. I hope you never think about me. I hope Sarah gives you everything you deserve. I hope your children never know their father was once broken by someone as foolish as me. I hope you live the most incredible life imaginable. And I hope, somehow, eventually, I can forgive myself. Though I probably never will. Emma, I fold the letter, put it in an envelope, and place it in the drawer with dozens of other unsent letters I've written over the past year. Confessions that will never matter. Then I turn off the lights and lie in bed, staring at the ceiling, living with the consequences of my choices. 4 years after the breakup, I'm in line at a coffee shop on a Tuesday morning. I've finally found a decent job again, not as prestigious as before, but stable. I'm rebuilding my life brick by brick. I'm seeing a therapist, Dr. Roberts, learning to live with my regrets rather than being consumed by them. The healing is slow and painful, but it's happening. I'm ordering my usual coffee when I hear a familiar laugh behind me. My entire body goes cold. I turn slowly. There he is. Daniel, in casual clothes, looking relaxed. And beside him is a little girl, maybe 2 years old, with his eyes and Sarah's smile. Their daughter! My heart cracks all over again. He notices me immediately. Our eyes meet. This time, there's definite recognition. The coffee shop noise fades. Emma, he says finally. His voice is neutral, not warm, not hostile, just distant. Hi, Daniel. I manage. How are you? Good, really good. He glances at his daughter, his expression softening. This is Lily. The little girl hides behind his leg, shy. I force a smile. She's beautiful. Congratulations. Thank you. Awkward silence stretches between us. There's so much I want to say, 4 years of apologies, explanations, regrets. But I can see in his eyes that none of it matters anymore. I'm not a current pain or even a lingering hurt. I'm just someone he used to know, someone from a chapter he's long since closed. How have you been? He asks politely, like asking a distant acquaintance. I'm okay. I lie. Then, more honestly, I'm working on myself. He nods slowly, seeming to understand the weight behind those words. For just a moment, I see a flash of the old Daniel, compassionate, understanding. But it's quickly replaced by the neutral politeness of a stranger. That's good, Emma. I hope things work out for you. There's finality in his words. Not cruelty, not coldness, just closure. Your order is ready. The barista calls. Daniel picks up his coffees, 2 cups, one presumably for Sarah. He lifts Lily into his arms. Take care of yourself, he says, and then he's gone, walking out into his life where I no longer exist. I stand there, trembling. The barista calls my name repeatedly. When I finally take my coffee, my hands shake so badly I almost drop it. That's it, that's my closure. A polite, meaningless conversation with the man I destroyed. No dramatic confrontation. No redemption, no Hollywood ending. Just reality, present day. I'm 29 years old now, 5 years removed from that birthday party that changed everything. I live alone in a modest apartment. I work a decent job in marketing at a mid-sized company. I've slowly rebuilt a social circle of genuine people, not the superficial friends who encouraged my worst impulses. Dr. Roberts has helped me understand that I can't undo the past, only learn from it. I've learned that success isn't measured in bank accounts or designer labels. I've learned that genuine love is infinitely more valuable than social status. I've learned that cruelty has consequences that ripple far beyond the immediate moment. Most importantly, I've learned that some mistakes can't be fixed. They can only be lived with, day after day, year after year. I see Daniel's life occasionally through public articles. He's sold his company for hundreds of millions. He and Sarah have another child now, a son. They've started a foundation for underprivileged students interested in technology. He's living his best life, and I'm genuinely happy for him. even as it breaks something in me each time. I've dated since Ryan. Michael, a kind teacher who reminded me too much of Daniel. James, a struggling artist whom I made sure to support and appreciate. But none of them worked out. I think it's because I'm comparing everyone to a man I can never have back, looking for redemption I don't deserve. Some evenings when I'm alone, I think about alternate timelines. What if I'd been brave enough to stand beside Daniel when he had nothing but potential and dreams? What if I'd valued his character over my friends' opinions? What if I'd defended him at that birthday party instead of humiliating him? In those alternate timelines, maybe I'm Sarah. Maybe that's my daughter with Daniel's eyes. Maybe I'm building charitable foundations and attending tech galas as his partner, not as invisible event staff. But I don't live in those timelines. I live in this one, the one created by my choices. Dr. Roberts says I need to forgive myself eventually, but I'm not sure I ever will. Maybe I don't deserve to. Maybe living with this regret is the price I pay for what I did. Maybe some lessons are meant to hurt forever, to shape us into better people through permanent scars rather than healed wounds. The truth is simple and devastating. I had something real, something millions of people search their whole lives for and never find. And I threw it away because it didn't look impressive enough to people whose opinions shouldn't have mattered. Now I'm the cautionary tale, the example of what happens when you choose status over substance. I called my boyfriend a total failure at my own birthday party. But the real failure was always me, the end